Welcome to Edmonton. What a beautiful night for a match tonight. FC Edmonton and their Canadian rivals, the Ottawa Fury, in the Canadian Championship at Clarke Stadium. Great game in store tonight in Edmonton. Beautiful conditions, great weather, a bit of a buzz around town for this match in the Canadian Championship tonight. Both teams finding their groove since the last time they met here at Clarke Stadium, and that was when Edmonton handed Ottawa a 2-0 defeat as well in that game. And since then, 4 points from 6 games on the road. Good evening, I'm Gareth Hampshire alongside Steve Sandor tonight.
Yeah, it's just a great atmosphere. We're going to have a great rivalry between two teams that have now met several years in a row as this preliminary round of the Amway of the championship, and just a great rivalry emerging between the two sides.
FC Edmonton coach Colin Miller joining us on the pitch as he always does before the match. Thanks for joining us, Colin. What's been making the difference for your team to click at the moment?
I think the difference, Gareth, is the second half performance against Ottawa. In all honesty, we've been working very hard on the defending aspect of the team this season, particularly given our performance last spring season. But the guys the group was much tighter in the second half. We started to win a lot more second balls, and we were much more attack-minded from that. And we've carried that on in every game so far, and for the most part we've been successful doing it. So that's been the key component, I think, is the play, of course, of Pap and Albert at centre-back. They've both done very well for us, and Matt Van Ockel's been very solid in goal. So those three have been the catalyst for everything further ahead of the team, and it's given us a rock that we can be built on.
Same team back in town today, Ottawa, and they've been playing a little bit better as well since they played you. How important do you see these games, Colin, the Canadian Championship?
We love this Amway Championship. I think it's fantastic for all the Canadian clubs. It gives us a chance to maybe try one or two things that we maybe wouldn't do in normal league play. Give one or two players a chance that maybe haven't played more regular in league play as well. So it's an avenue for the NASL teams to play against the so-called better teams in the MLS. We've had some great games against Montreal and the Vancouver Whitecaps over recent times. So that's the carrot that's dangled in front of both teams here over these two legs, is the Vancouver Whitecaps to have another go at them. So that's a terrific incentive. It's very positive. The players really enjoy it. It's midweek game, another midweek game under the floodlights. You can't beat it.
Great. Thanks, Colin. We'll talk to you at half-time. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Gary.
That's Coach Colin Miller. Looking forward to the Amway Canadian Championship, a tournament that sort of sneaks under the radar a little bit for most people, Steve.
Yeah, but this is an important qualifier for the Club World Cup. Basically, or actually first the CONCACAF Champions League. I'm getting ahead of myself by qualifying the Canadian team already for the Club World Cup. But the NASL clubs start Ottawa and Edmonton, this two-legged series. And then the 3 MLS teams join at the semi-final stage. The top seed is Vancouver, so they will face either FC Edmonton or the Ottawa Fury. Toronto, Montreal, the other semi-final. Obviously, the winners play in the final to determine the Canadian Cup champion, the Amway of the Amway Canadian Championship. That winner represents Canada in the CONCACAF Champions League. And remember that last year, Montreal got to the final of the CONCACAF Champions League, as we see some highlights from last year's action. And see Daryl Fordyce scoring some goals here. And Daryl Fordyce is the all-time leading scorer in this tournament with goals he's piled up over the last couple of years.
Colin Miller will be hoping that he continues that form tonight. He's going to be in that attacking midfield role just behind Jake Keegan, who's also finding his shooting boots lately.
Yeah, a couple of goals, a real nice one, too, on the weekend. In the draw that they had, nice header in Indianapolis that drew that game level, as we see Edmonton scoring more in last year's preliminary round victory over Ottawa. And we see from Vancouver, and I gotta tell you, Edmonton, we see them, they took an early lead in Vancouver in the first leg. If you remember, last year the first leg was supposed to be Edmonton, but it got snowed out. So they switched places, and basically Vancouver hosted the first leg. See here Gershon Kofi tying the game. Edmonton came home 1-1. Both teams got goals. Tomi Amiobi scored very late in this game to draw it level. And we'll see that coming up soon. Latin, an extra time penalty to tie this game. And it looked like we were headed to extra time. But for the second year in a row, as we see Edmonton celebrate, and this is what's really amazing, in the 97th minute, you look at the time, it's the 97th minute, Edmonton, in the second leg of the semifinal, loses the tie. It's exactly what happened in Montreal last year. And you know what the odds? I worked that out with the U of A stats professor. 1.1 million to 1 for a team to get knocked out in the 97th minute of the second leg 2 years in a row.
Almost Leicester City odds winning the title, even more than that. So let's hope we don't see that one again tonight. But definitely a game that Edmonton got national press in that. Was one of those that everybody heard about FC Edmonton, even though it was an agonizing, heartbreaking finish. Now, it's a game that a lot of the players look forward to. Pressure off a little bit, as Colin Miller said. They can try some new things. Let's hear about the skipper's approach to these, Albert Watson.
Just want to play the next game and get a win the next game, and that's where we have to do it. To be honest, I'm looking at the next half. The next half is against Ottawa, 45 minutes. We want to win that 45, and then we'll move on to the next 45. And that's the way we approach games, and that's the way we have to keep the mentality, to keep the focus going within the camp, because we don't want to have the laissez-faire attitude. You know, let us down a wee bit last year where we were winning the games, and maybe after a win we lost or we drew or whatever, and we didn't get a good performance. So hopefully we can take that mentality into this game tomorrow.
Albert Watson forming a good partnership with Pat Diakite, and again the coach mentioning that that's been a real cornerstone of the recent form that FC Edmonton has been showing. Now we're going to play Ottawa tonight. FC Edmonton against the Ottawa Fury, two teams that know each other very well. Let's look at the keys to the game with Steve.
Well, the first one, you know, Edmonton would like to win at home, obviously, in the first leg, but really much more important to not allow a road goal. It's a big advantage to make sure that Ottawa stays at 0. They shut them out here a couple of weeks ago, 2-0. So you want to, you know, we see there Albert Watts picking up a red card at the start of the season. We don't want to see that happen again, or FC Edmonton doesn't want to see that happen. Keeping that clean sheet is very important. Managing fatigue. This is Edmonton's third game since last Wednesday. Then they will play the Cosmos on Sunday. Then Ottawa on the road for the second leg next Wednesday. And then Carolina next Sunday, the Sunday after coming up. So that's, in total, they're going to be on a 6-game and 19-day run. As well, they've pulled themselves in league contention, only 4 points out of first. Carolina and New York are the teams they're chasing. They have to manage 2 competitions. And the third one, they've just got to use their speed, fly down the wings. We see that Ottawa's got big central defenders. You need to get outside, get their feet moving. That's when Edmonton's really started having success in the second half against Ottawa last time they played. Get the big defenders moving. So use that speed, use that pace, try to take them down the wings.
FC Edmonton naming a strong team tonight now that Colin Miller has got a lot of players back fit for them. But let's take a look at the injury report now for the Eddies.
Richie Jones remains out. He's been out all season with a knee problem. He's getting closer. Eddie Edwards slipped on the running track in Indianapolis on the weekend in that game, and he is out for today's game, and obviously that hurts for him. He's an Ottawa native, loves playing against the Fury. Christian Raudalis, who hurt his ankle on that how shall we say, interesting Jacksonville turf last Wednesday that was filled with holes and seams, and he turned his ankle, and he's out for probably about a month.
Players warming up on the pitch. Something special about a game under the floodlights. The floodlights are on. It's the Amway Canadian Championship. FC Edmonton against the Ottawa Fury, and the kickoff is coming up next. Heads it into the back of the net. He's onside. Beautifully finished. A clinical strike. And Richie Jones scores with a header. And FC Edmonton have doubled their lead. We are live at Clarke Stadium. Thanks for joining us for the Amway Canadian Championship. FC Edmonton hosting the Ottawa Fury tonight. And the fans getting behind the team. Good atmosphere here at the stadium this evening. Let's look at the lineups that both coaches are going with tonight, beginning with the home team, FC Edmonton. And one of the stories that's developing this season is about number 26, Shamit Shome, 18 years old, playing again tonight in the starting lineup alongside Matt Van Oekel in goal, Zebi at right back, Eckersley coming in at left back. High hopes for him this season. Diakite and Watson have been playing well at centre half. The midfield, Ledgerwood in the holding role, Nyasi and Correa on the wings. Shamit Shome playing alongside Fordyce, with Jake Keegan, who's getting in amongst the goals up front today. And for the Ottawa Fury, they've got a few injuries, so a couple of changes that Paul Dalglish has made in his lineup. De Bellis in goal, Bolchin at right back, De Jong at left back. He scored the injury time goal a couple of days ago. Alves and Timbo in the middle. We know how dangerous and solid they can be. Paulo Jr., Bailey and Rosebeam, and Steele across the midfield. Haworth up front, and Obasi rounding out the lineup for the Ottawa Fury. They're all in red. FC Edmonton in their home colours of blue and white.
You were talking about Shamit Shome, and Shamit Shome, he played on Wednesday in Jacksonville, had to miss Saturday's game in Indianapolis because Friday he had a math exam to write at the University of Alberta. He's been juggling. He hasn't left school. He's a professional player, but at 18 years old, he's continuing with his education at the U of A. And of course, part of that under-20 Canadian team that beat Marcus Rashford in England a couple of months back is expected to be on that under-20 roster announcement next week. So Shamit Shome, very bright prospect, someone that a lot of people around the country are going to have a chance to look at for the first time, but someone who's got a very, very bright future.
Another one of the players that's come through the academy that's been producing several players that have made it to the first team for FC Edmonton. But with Shome, it seems like they talk about him a little differently. They've got very high hopes for him here.
Yeah, they do, and it's just it's incredible how this team is now coming together and gelling at this point. So we are we're really seeing this team make some very, very positive strides.
Shome will play in the midfield, and we'll get to see some of that ability in him tonight for the next 90 minutes as he lines up just behind Jake Keegan, who's just developing a little bit of confidence now that he's starting to score some goals, and that's a good thing. Now the goalkeeper comparison matchup this evening. Matt Van Oekel been playing really well for FC Edmonton, 3 clean sheets, and only New York have conceded fewer goals than the Eddies so far this season. De Bellis, we don't normally see him. It's normally Pézère for Ottawa, so we'll get a look at De Bellis between the sticks for the Fury tonight. FC Edmonton kicking towards the goal to our left. And there goes the referee's whistle. We are underway in the Amway Canadian Championship. FC Edmonton in this home leg against Ottawa. First touch for Eckersley there. A couple of niggling injury problems for him, but getting a chance to play tonight. And Colin Miller is convinced that he's ready and fit to go. And so we'll get to see him. He's one of those fullbacks that likes to get up and down the line and get crosses in. And I know that Colin Miller really rates him very highly and hopes that he can bring a lot to this FC Edmonton team. There he is wearing number 44 and just getting a couple of early touches on that favoured left foot of his. Weather conditions just about perfect for a game. Very sunny and about 13 degrees. A little bit of a breeze from the northeast, but very nice out there tonight. It'll be an early throw in for FC Edmonton. Bit of a misunderstanding there. Bolchin just sidestepping the wrong way as Paulo Jr. misplaced a pass, and Eckersley has the throw, and he finds Albert Watson. FC Edmonton's captain developing a good partnership with Diakite, who's also been on the score sheet lately and has been impressing the fans here.
An ASL Team of the Week this week, scored a goal, but defensively he's just so impressive, wins so many battles.
And Jake Keegan also getting on that list, the team of the week as well, and well-deserved fit on his part too. Here's Shome getting his first touch in the midfield, and a nice safe pass back to Pap Diakate, who finds Watson. Watson has driven that one low to Eckersley, does keep it in play, but it's picked up by Paolo Jr. One back by the Eddies, but perhaps a little tug there of the shirt by Daryl Fordyce, and a free kick to the Fury.
I'd have to look it up to see how many brothers have played in the Amway Canadian Championship, but obviously for people thinking, and they see Adam Eckersley's name, yes, that is Richard Eckersley, former Toronto FC's brother. So we have brothers who've now played for separate teams in the Amway Canadian Championship.
That is the number 77, Timbo, another one named Brazilian, playing for Ottawa tonight. And now Alves. Watson's going to play that one back to Van Oekel. So play that one to Ledgerwood, takes the ball back. Normally goes very long with his clearances, but interchanging with a couple of passes there inside his own penalty area before he decides to boot it. And the ball won back by the Fury with Timbo again, and rolling him back to his goalkeeper, De Bellis. It was a mistake from Alves the last time these teams played that got punished. And it was one of two mistakes that Ottawa made, and they were punished both times by the Eddies.
Yes, he miscommunicated with his keeper, who was Paiser that day, and gave up a needless corner that Edmonton ended up scoring that first goal on. Under no pressure at all, right at the start of the second half.
Ledgerwood comes back to get the ball from Van Oekel, playing it out wide to the right wing, but it's going to fall invitingly for Haworth, who is chasing away down the left-hand side, pulls back the cross, and Albert Watson just decides to go safety first and head that behind for a corner.
It was really well caught by the ball boy there. Nice reflexes by the ball boy there.
Yeah, got some power behind that header, went for distance and decided that that was the best thing to do, and so FC Edmonton have a corner to defend. That's Bailey in the orange boots. And he's bent that over to the far post and headed it back across the face of goal. Bit of a scramble in there, and the strike, well, the ball's still not cleared and deflected wide again. And it came off a Fury player. It will be a goal kick, but the Fury there giving FC Edmonton some problems.
Yeah, Edmonton had a couple of chances there to get that ball out, and that will probably remind them of that situation they had against Vancouver at the end of that game in the semi-final here at Clarke Field last year, when they couldn't deal with the free kick. They got to the box, had a couple of chances to clear it before Matthias Laba poked it home. So, you know, if you don't get that first clearance, if you can't make that strong first touch, you put your team in such trouble. In that case, Edmonton had a couple of chances and miskicked the ball.
Bailey has chipped one over the top, and it's offside. Eckersley never really had to run for that one. He knew the flag was going to go up, but it's a free kick to FC Edmonton. 5 minutes on the watch, and no goals so far. The Eddies' record: 1-2, drawn 2, lost 2. But a lot more confidence than when these two teams last met, and you could say the same thing about the Fury as well.
Yes, considering that the Eddies were 0-2-1 at one point, they've been on a 7 of the last possible 9 points. So I think they're very pleased right now the direction they're heading. And as I said, they've closed that gap between themselves and the Railhawks and the Cosmos to 4 points. They're still very much alive in the spring season standings.
We'll see the Cosmos here on Sunday. New York in town in Edmonton, and that'll be a big one. Roseboom getting a touch, and now Johnny Steele back to Roseboom and wide to the left flank this time. Good run been made there down the flank by De Jong. Cross comes into the far post, and danger in there again inside the FC Edmonton penalty area, but they get it to Correa, who makes a sidestep move and chips it up the line.
Ottawa will be very happy to see players like Daryl Fordyce and Dustin Correa being forced to defend so deeply, basically pinned back in their own penalty area. Ottawa has some very, very good early pressure. Getting the ball into Edmonton's penalty area, almost challenging them to say, okay, get this out first try. Get that first touch and get it out. And if you don't, we're going to be all over you. A lot of pressure from Ottawa right now, pressing very high up the field.
Alves a danger from set pieces. He actually forced this one on the left-hand side with that long pass deflected out for a corner. And he's hovering around the penalty spot, being marked by Albert Watson. And the ball targeted towards him, but a very good header away by Daryl Fordyce, who gets some good distance on it. It's whipped back into the area again, though, into the mixer. And there is Alves, brings it down and finds Steele. Steele's ball might have drifted through for Van Oekel, but Diakite wasn't to know that, and makes a very good, safe defensive play.
Ottawa is playing an extremely higher line right now, and if you see the number of players that they're pinching forward, really only one player back whatsoever near the circle. They are really looking to try to snatch that road goal early, try and take the initiative. It's very unusual to see the visiting team do that, but they're also leaving themselves a danger on that counter.
Alves is in a little bit of trouble here. Coach Paul Dalglish looking on from the sidelines as the trainer comes out. And he's in some discomfort down there on the deck. Meantime, Colin Miller just having a word with a couple of his players on the touchline, using this moment where the trainer's on just to get some messages onto the field.
He's just trying to tell his team to be aware of how much Ottawa is pressing. They got to get that ball out, but there's going to be outlets down the wings and over the top. As I said, Ottawa, when they're pressing that high, you can be onside on your own end of the field and be behind all their defenders but one. That's how high Ottawa has been pressing in these first few minutes, really looking to take the initiative and get that first road goal.
Problem with Alves looks like it's with his right hand, and he's off on the sidelines here, receiving treatment now. And so for the moment, the Fury playing with 10 men in this Amway Canadian Championship match. And we have played 9 minutes at Clarke Stadium. Very nice evening in Edmonton. Not as warm as it has been, but that's probably a good thing. The way the conditions have been that have led to forest fires, and I'm sure everyone watching across the country knows about the situation in Fort McMurray, where they're also trying to raise money at the game this evening for the fire effort up there, with some 90,000 people having to leave Fort McMurray, and many of them now in Edmonton and other areas of Alberta. And in fact, there you go, the whole theme of the night, footy for Fort McMurray, and the Eddies accepting food bank donations to try and filibuster. Break in for Keegan here from the left-hand side. He slid that all the way across to the far post. Looked to find Nyasi, but it's been deflected wide for a corner kick. Good quick break there from FC Edmonton, and Keegan looking sharp
and
again.
There's exactly what I was talking about earlier, that high line that Ottawa is playing. You get behind it, you can get a full head of steam and be running with numbers coming forward, getting behind that back line. Ottawa is riverboat gambling today with this way that they're playing, and I like it because it's going to create goals one way or the other. Definitely not playing for a 0-0.
Paolo Jr. on the chest finds Bailey, who just gets his foot on the ball. He's got support from Steele. Bailey getting another touch in the middle. Paolo Jr. into the play again. Some nice movement here from the Fury. Got a bad turn from Bailey that time, and Zebi penalized for conceding a free kick to the Fury.
see the big center backs, Timbo and Alves, are going to go up, challenge in the penalty areas. We see the foul there. So he's finally getting back in. He had some issues with injury for the last couple of weeks.
Here, Colin Miller shouting from the sidelines instructions to his captain there as the cross comes in, and there's the flicked header from Timbo, and that's nicely taken. And the Fury have a 1-0 lead here in Edmonton, and that could be a very valuable goal away from home for Ottawa.
Timbo moves well in the box here. We'll see he shakes his mark, running away from goal and flicks it behind him. So that's a nice piece of skill from the central defender. Well taken free kick. And Ottawa gets exactly what they want. They put the pressure on early to try to snatch that road goal early. I said that they were gambling, bringing a lot of numbers up front. They got the free kick. They flooded the penalty area, brought the big bodies forward. And Timbo, with a real nice piece of skill, gives Ottawa a 1-0 lead. And even more importantly, it's a road goal.
Career caught in possession there from Paolo Jr. Harworth on the edge of the area trying to play it back in to Paolo Jr. Good defending by Eckersley. It will be a throw in for the Fury. Ottawa passing the ball well in the early stages here. There's Paolo Jr. again, and he's brought down by Eckersley. That will be a free kick in another dangerous position for the Fury here.
It looks nothing like the team we saw 2 weeks ago visiting Edmonton. Lots of pressure, being very, very positive. Not playing a traditional road game at all, where you see these two-legged ties. Usually, we're used to seeing that visiting team will go in and just sort of try to bar the door and get to that home leg. But Ottawa's not doing that. Ottawa's being extremely proactive tonight. Numbers forward again in the penalty area, and hardly anyone back. Eight men in the box.
1-0 lead for the Fury, and there's a free kick driven by Bailey into the wall. Gets a second bite of the cherry, curls this one in. That will be easy for Van Oekel.
And Ottawa, you got to be thinking now that you're up 1-0. Really 1-1. If you get caught in the break once, it's not that bad. You're still got a big advantage at 1-1 on the road because you have that road goal. So why not go to make it 2-0? This actually makes a lot of sense that Ottawa's keeping the pressure up. They're not deciding, okay, we got one, maybe let's try to settle down a bit. No, you can see that they are really pushing, they're really pressing.
Ledgerwood for FC Edmonton. Shome here. Drives forward up the right-hand side. A nice break by him and a good pass inside the fullback there. And although it was offside, the run just mistimed there by Nyasi. But first break forward we've seen from Shome. That was a good run from him.
It was a good run, and that's what Edmonton's got to do. They got to try to slide those balls down the wings, get behind. There's a lot of space back there. As I said, the way that Ottawa's playing is very, very high line. Lots of room for Edmonton to get balls behind and challenge them. Get those Ottawa defenders running backwards. But I think it's just fascinating the way that Ottawa's come out and attacked this game. Really not what you expect to see in a tie like this. But it's really opened this game up very, very early.
There's Watson for Edmonton. Nice break by Fordyce there, gets around the outside on the right wing. Good cross into the middle. And well defended, but it will be a corner.
Chance for the Eddies now. This is where they scored that goal against Ottawa a couple weeks ago. Corner kick situation, Albert Watson, and he's up top. Diakite is going to come in as well, and Diakite scored off a corner Wednesday in Jacksonville.
Going from the right wing towards the penalty box, headed away by Alves. Correa picks that one back up for Edmonton. That's going to be a foul by Steele on Nyasi, just a touch late in that challenge, and the referee might have a bit of a word with him there. But a free kick in a good position here for FC Edmonton. Eckersley looks like he's gone over to take it with the left boot.
Very similar position to what Ottawa scored their goal from.
He's whipped it up to the far post. Fordyce is chasing it. It's gone over the top. Another corner for the Eddies. Good spell of pressure here for Edmonton.
Yeah, they at least got Ottawa now on the back foot a little bit. It's taken 15, 16 minutes for the Eddies to get to this point. They've already given up a goal, but at least now they've got a few set pieces in there, some chances.
Bailey again for Ottawa. The left-hand side, headed away, watched well there by Zebi. "18 minutes on the watch, and the Fury lead 1-0 here in Edmonton in the Canadian Championship. Very important away goal that could prove to be. And you can hear Colin Miller from the sidelines shouting, "Press, press," just looking for a little bit more from his team to try and put the Fury under a bit more pressure.
Yeah, and it obviously would help relieve the pressure the Fury are putting on them. They can push the Fury back a bit. Again, you see the pressure they're putting on Edmonton players in their own half. Seeing the red shirts streaming forward, just not giving any of the Eddies players time on the ball whatsoever. Just continuing to press, and obviously Ottawa's confidence, getting that early goal will be even higher.
Diakite playing a pass back to Van Oak, who clears first time. Steele gets his head on it, but it's picked up and driven wide to the right flank by Ledgerwood. Nyasi tries to have a go around the outside. It's away by the goal scorer Timbo. 12th minute, little flick header, back header, giving the Fury a 1-0 lead here at Clarke Stadium. Ledgerwood playing a nice pass to the left side and finding Eckersley. Eckersley under pressure, but has support from Correa. Correa just steps over it. It's Eckersley again. And again, very good pressing by the Fury, forcing FC Edmonton to go back into their own half with Diakite. And Nyasi just loses his concentration a little bit. That's into touch for a Fury throw-in.
Yeah, that's right. Edmonton's just got to move the ball more quickly. They really have to really work on that one-touch play, the one-touch pass. When Ottawa's pressing you like that, you need to get players moving the ball quickly, try to find a hole as the Ottawa players are pressing on you. You need to move the ball a little bit more quickly and more urgently than Edmonton have been in the first 20 minutes of this game.
It's always our fault.
Eckersley playing a pass to Ledgerwood. He looks for the crossfield ball to the right-hand side. And Korea just won't get there. It was a good pass, but just didn't quite work out. Throw in for the Fury.
Perfect night too for to play a fast-paced kind of game. Turf's in great condition. He's going to play quickly and as well. It's not too hot.
Nice break by Zebi. Tries to get the ball back from Keegan. And the defender could just use his strength there and shield the ball from Zebi, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
The Eddies have had a little bit better luck when they've gone down that left side so far. Been able to get some players behind, at least create a little bit of pressure.
Time tackle again by Diakite. Bailey stays down. Ledgerwood sportingly kicks the ball out.
And this is what everyone around the NASL is finding out. Running into Diakite is like running into a wall. Take a look at this again. I don't think there's anything in it in terms of maliciousness. De Jong just gets Diakite. He's such a big body. And Jacksonville, if anyone would have watched that game might remember, he went up against two Jacksonville players with a ball in the air, and both of them went down. Didn't foul either of them, but just the size loomed over them, and both of them were down, injured for a little bit. But he's really getting this reputation quickly around the league for being a real handful to get around.
Well, the big game coming up for FC Edmonton. The New York Cosmos in town on Sunday, league-leading team. And one of the big draws of the league, the big spenders of the league, Sunday, 2 p.m. FC Edmonton against New York.
That's Nico Kranchar's team, so some interest there since he's come over to NASL.
And we will be live on City TV for that match, the Eddies against the Cosmos. Timberry will just let that ball from Diakite go over his head and into the goalkeeper's hands. Shome gets an ankle on that one. Fordyce chasing it. And Bailey in the middle. Turning well in defense. Some strapping around his fingers since that injury on his right hand, but seems to be okay to continue.
Every time an Eddie's player gets the ball, there's Agniassi there. He's at about half, and he's got 2 red shirts on him. They're really just trying to close down everything. Get that ball turned over quickly for quick counterattacks. Really looking to bring numbers forward. Just wonder if, as I said, the temperatures are ideal. It's a beautiful evening, but can you keep this kind of tempo up for 90 minutes? For those of you wondering, too, when I talk about the road goal, if these teams end up tied on aggregate at the end of 2 legs, the first tiebreaker is a team that scores the most goals in the other team's stadium, road goals.
Going for Eckersley, you can't be offside from a throw-in. Ledgerwood has the ball there, puts in the cross. It's still in the area. Nyasi gets it. Korea challenging in the penalty area. Eventually the Fury clear it, but they were caught napping a little bit there. Not sure what the appeal was for, but a good quick throw-in from Eckersley to give Edmonton a counter-attack. Fordyce, forward pass, gets the ball back from Keegan into the path of his run anyway. Free kick given, which Korea takes quickly and finds Eckersley. Very nice first touch. Brings it down into the stride, and Nyasi. Oh, nice little break by Nyasi, twisting and turning down that left flank. In the end, Bolchin getting the ball away from him, and as he kicks it down the line, Nyasi just sliding in a little bit too late, concedes a free kick.
You know, I talked about Eckersley earlier, his brother playing in this championship. And then we can see Nyasi, whose brother played for Montreal in this championship. So you have 2 Edmonton players whose brothers have played for other teams in the Amway Canadian Championship. A little bit of trivia out there.
Yeah, that'd be a good quiz question. There's Eckersley with a nice cushioned pass forward to Keegan. Shomes making the break into the penalty area. Keegan onto the left peg and wins himself a corner. Like Eckersley wants to take this, but so does Nyasi. It is going to be Eckersley. Gone to the near post, and easy header for Alves away from the danger zone. This is a break by De Jong, and there's a run up the middle by Steele, but Van Oekel anticipated that very well and makes the clearance. Bolchin charging forward, but just ran that one a touch far. And Korea and Fordyce linking up.
Another example, though, have Ottawa just ready to pounce, ready to turn that ball around, ready to bring numbers forward again. De Jong's ball is just a little bit too strong, or else Steele was gone.
Shown from the right wing as a throw.
It's very much a high-risk reward strategy that Paul Dalglish is employing today with Ottawa, but so far he's only enjoying the rewards.
Ball into the penalty box, and Keegan's header was close to being on target. Made the goalkeeper DeBellis make the save anyway. Tried to guide the header to the far post. Didn't have any real power in the cross, so he looked for the guiding effort, but a good save.
Yeah, looping header. DeBellis still had that red all the way.
Still 1-0 to the Fury, and we're on the half-hour mark in the first half at Clarke Stadium. Timbo's goal, the difference between the teams at the moment. Headed forward by Shome. There was a lot of guts there going into that challenge, and in fact Bailey is cautioned yellow card for that tackle, that challenge on Shamik Shome. First yellow card of the match.
See here if the Eddies try to pop this into the penalty area or play this forward. I think they'll play it because Diakité's back, so I don't think they're going to just try to pound this into the penalty area. I think they'll try to play this ball out to the wing, possibly. Short free kick and try to build something up. But now Diakité's moving forward, so now it looks like they're looking for that option to maybe pop this ball in the penalty area and try to win the ball in the air.
Watson's gone up into the box as well. In fact, Watson Ledgerwood Maybe looking to find the big lads in the box here, and he's got it all the way through to Nyasi, and just couldn't control that one, and it's a goal kick.
It was an excellent ball from Ledgerwood, too. Dropped it to a real nice area behind the defenders. Nyasi running onto it with that speed of his. You can see it's really nicely placed just over the defender's head. Nyasi can't control it.
Ledgerwood's played some very nice long passes in this match so far as well, finding his range tonight. Korea battling for the ball on that right-hand side, gets supported by Shamit Shom, who's won it back for FC Edmonton. Keegan finds Korea again. Into the path of Shom. Shom trying to play it forward to Keegan. They're appealing for a handball. Referee waves play on, and Steele drives that one forward. Headed back away by Diakate.
Now see Edmonton try to apply that same kind of pressure going the other way. Heard Colin Miller up here urging them on, telling them to...
Nice run by Korea. Maisie run down the right-hand side. He's hit it to the edge of the penalty area, slides the pass into Nyasi. Nyasi tries to drive it back across the first time and deflected away by Bolchin. It's going to be intercepted by Zebi here.
The Yetis now building themselves into this game, though.
On the right-hand side, Fordyce's cross into the box, headed away by Alves. That will drop for Ledgerwood. Wins the header and picks out Eckersley here. Back to Ledgerwood again. So drifted across over to the right-hand side, and that's just going to run out for a throw.
Yeah, that ball just didn't bend for him whatsoever. Just stayed in a straight line. I know he was trying to get some curve on that and drop that into the penalty area. It just sort of took off on him.
Canadian Championship 1-0 lead for the Fury. Timbo's goal, the difference at the moment.
Not that I think it makes too much difference, but I do think they're playing with a different ball than they normally play in league play.
Eckersley with that different ball here. That sounds like a bit of an Arsene Wenger excuse there, Steve. A different ball. He's done well with this ball, whatever it is tonight so far, Eckersley, from the dead ball situations.
There you go, Gareth. You got me speechless there for a second.
And it goes to the far post, and just reaching for it. The goalkeeper read it well in the end, got his left hand on it. He decided to concede the corner.
Absolutely had to, because Albert Watson was about to nod that into an open goal. He had the far post wide open there. If DeBellis doesn't get to this, it's 1-1. You can see where Watson is, where that ball's headed.
And another corner from the other side. Nyasi just testing him as well, and it's been right under his crossbar twice in a row, and he's done very well to patrol that 6-yard area. Another corner from the right wing. Oh, and that almost runs all the way through. Nyasi heading it back in again. There's Shom. Going to be another corner. This is a good spell here for the Eddies.
You know, the Indy 11 scored on the Eddies on a scuffed free kick on Saturday. It's amazing how sometimes those mishit corners end up burning you. As a defender, I mean.
FC Edmonton pressing high up the pitch this time and starting to really have a good spell in this match.
But I don't know, like that was an example there of the Eddies. A corner that's short should have been dealt with. It ends up skipping through the box 2 or 3 times, and the Eddies get half a chance out of it. Don't know how many times I've seen that mishit corners or free kicks go skidding into the penalty area and create far more trouble than a perfectly lofted ball does.
Timbo for the Fury. There's all the way back to the Bellis. And Watson, very good defensive header there, and it drops to Shome. Shome just sells Ledgerwood a little bit short there with that pass, but he's done well to win it back. Good recovery, and finds Ledgerwood this time. Referee just on the spot to give a free kick against Korea there. Approaching half-time, anybody's game this, and FC Edmonton with a much better spell, but still behind by 1-0. There's Korea in possession, but he doesn't really get good range on that pass, and Roseboom plays it to Paolo Jr. Roseboom continues his run. Harworth into the penalty area, well policed there by Eckersley. Ledgerwood's got the ball, but he's boxed into his own corner spot and has to concede the throw. Bolshin with the throw in. Harworth into the penalty area. Johnny Steele now for Ottawa. Bolshin on the right-hand side again. Good play there by Zebi, coming away with the ball and up to the halfway mark, and wins a free kick for the Eddies. Tried to take it quickly, it sort of ricocheted back and it didn't quite work, but they still have possession here, Edmonton. It's with Fordyce. Fordyce tries to fire in the cross low, and the corner prevented by Obasi. Throw in for the Eddies.
That was such a quick or slow to develop play. We saw the free kick bounce off Zebi from Watson, and then a couple players going down the wing from FC Edmonton sort of getting each other's way. But Ottawa just seemed slow to react too, almost like, oh, okay, is this going to be allowed to continue? I think they almost seemed surprised that free kick didn't have to be retaken.
Ledgerwood winning the ball back. Eckersley again here, left-hand side, finding Nyasi. That's worked out nicely. He just loses it to Alves as he was about to charge through.
It's well stood up by the big man. Alves got square to Nyasi and just stuck a clean foot out and took the ball off of Nyasi's feet. Strong positionally there, squared up really with that big body. As quick as Nyasi is, it doesn't give him a lot of options where to go. You've got to make a real wide turn to get around Alves and then try to play a ball around him. It's a lot to ask, because by the time you can do that, Alves is going to get help. He's going to have another red jersey there behind him.
Good tackle there by Zebi, sliding in. Challenge on the halfway line, conceding the throw in. 5 minutes to halftime. Fury leading 1-0. Timbo's goal in the 12th minute, the only one of the match so far. There's Bailey. Diakite is going to let that through pass go out for a goal kick for FC Edmonton.
Diakite shaking hands there. In this game, between Alves and Diakite, you see some massive center backs. The part of the game we're seeing is a real move to bring in players who really take up, really can win those aerial battles in the middle. Two players exceptionally, both Alves and Diakite, exceptionally difficult for attackers to get around.
Throw in for the Eddies here from Timbo's clearance. Correa finding Ledgerwood. Comes up for Correa again here on the left foot. Not a bad ball into the box, and that's a brilliant save by the goalkeeper DeBellis to deny Shome what looked like was going to be his first goal.
Well, you can see Shome's reaction there. He's stunned that DeBellis got a hand to this. I think he feels it's all to the good. That's going in. At least he thinks so. He thinks he's dropped that over the keeper. Outstanding work by DeBellis. He's coming out. The challenge the header has to reach back to claw that ball back. Outstanding save. Best Edmonton's easily their best chance of the game so far.
And Shome did everything right. Tried to go for power over the top, but it was just a terrific stop by DeBellis there to make the save. Good football all around there. Great cross in by Correa. Really good header and a super stop.
You know, for a player like DeBellis, this is a chance for an audition. This is a chance to get in front of Paul Dalglish, Bruce Robillard, and say, like, look, this is what I can do. And that's he's had a couple of times this half where he's looked very, very impressive, but none more so than that save on Shameen Shome.
One that Bruce Robillard would have been proud of himself. Former Liverpool goalkeeper. He's on the coaching staff for the Fury, and he was warming up the keeper before the match, and it's the kind of acrobatic save that he made many of in a very long career.
Yeah, you see that the names on the Ottawa coaching sheet with Robillard and Dalglish. You just wonder when more Liverpool names are coming over.
Paul Dalglish, the son of Kenny, of course, and also played at the highest level in England himself as well.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 1 minute added time allowed. Le quatrième officiel a indiqué qu'il y aura un minimum de 1 minute de temps ajouté.
So 1 minute left of added time here as Shameen Shome gets another touch. Mayassi on the left-hand side, Bolchin very close to him, but it's a throw for Edmonton. Ledgerwood does well to get around his man, but blocked from making the cross. They've got to get it forward quickly here. Diakite does exactly that into the penalty box. And headed behind. They just might have time for the corner.
Last guy, the Eddies bringing all the big defenders forward, just like Ottawa does when they have their set pieces, and what Timbo scored on the 13th minute.
Eckersley from the left wing. Cleared by the Fury, and that will be that for the first half, and a good one too. But Ottawa with the lead. Timbo's goal is the only one so far, and that means that at half-time it is 1-0 to Ottawa. It looked as though for all the world that Shameen Shome was going to pull his team level with a header there but a very good save by DeBellis to deny him and keep the score at 1-0.
Yeah, a very entertaining first half. As that Ottawa came out really pressing, got that goal, got their reward for pressing, and did well to take the lead.
Let's talk to the Fury coach, Paul Dalglish. His team ahead at half-time. Paul, thanks for joining us. What's your analysis of the way things went in the first half for your team there?
Yeah, I thought we came out quite well, and when we scored, we've sat back and defended the lead, which wasn't the plan. It's just happened, and in possession, it's broken down quite a lot. We've got to be cleaner in possession. We've got to make more simple passes, secure possession when we win it, and we can pick them off. But you know, we've got to be better on the ball, and we've got to be more aggressive, because we don't want to sit back and, you know, it's a two-legged affair. We don't want to sit back and protect the lead. We want to go and get another one.
Okay, Paul, thank you.
Thank you.
Paul Dalglish feels like his team could have done better after the goal there, so not too happy that in his mind they sat back a little bit. Colin Miller may see a little differently that FC Edmonton did begin to have a really good spell towards the end of that first half.
And we have Coach Miller here. Coach, are you surprised a little bit by how Ottawa came out the first 10-15 minutes? They seem to really press you very high.
Yeah, I don't care how Ottawa do, Steve, to be honest with you. It's how we do. And I'm disappointed how we started. We were awful right throughout the team. Not tight, not winning any tackles. Absolutely shocking in possession. I mean, there's one or two I've got to explain to them that we're actually playing in the white strips here tonight. That's how bad that start was. So again, I'm not interested in Ottawa. It summed us up with our marking from the free kick. You know, we get caught the wrong side from our defensive point of view, but some of the play here tonight has been so far away from what we've been used to over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm looking forward to my halftime team talk here.
Shamit Shom, though, had a great chance to tie it up late. What did you see there?
Yeah, it was great. It was very similar to Jake Keegan's goal last week against Indy. Finally, we actually contributed to some attacking play. But, you know, there's more to come. Hopefully in the second half, I'll go in and give one or two the belt here, settle them down. And, you know, we'll go for it here in the second half. We've got some positive substitutes to make. It's, you know, it's the first half of 3 more to go here. But we have to be far, far better in possession. Defensively, we've been awful. If we play like that for the remainder of the spring season, when the NASL will end up relegated, and there's no relegation.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Cheers.
Colin Miller not very impressed, and that's an understatement at half-time, and some of the players, I think, are going to hear it in the half-time team talk there as he goes off to discuss that first half. Eddie's trailing 1-0 at half-time. Welcome back to Clarke Stadium, the Canadian Championship, where it's FC Edmonton against the Ottawa Fury, and that's a sign that the Eddie supporters have behind the goal, standing united with Fort McMurray after the forest fires. Nice words of support from the Eddie's fans behind the goal there, and they're also trying to make money, well, actually bringing food, perishables, filling up a bus for the people who've had to leave Fort McMurray because of the fires today. Footy for Fort Mac, the theme of the match in Edmonton this evening. Colin Miller said that a couple of players were going to get the belt at half-time to calm them down a little bit, and wasn't very impressed with that first half. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of reaction he'll get from the players, because he also said that if he didn't get a reaction, he'd be turning to the substitutions bench fairly quickly.
Yeah, first thing I did when Edmonton came out was to see if actually anyone was going to line up to be subbed in. But it looks like it's the same 11 out there. The way that Colin Miller was speaking to us at halftime made it seem like maybe there could be a change in the offing right to start the second half. But I do think these are players who are on a very short leash.
Goes Watson with the header, Shom flicking it on. Diakite this time heading it back towards his own goal. Van Oekel trying to prevent the corner.
Shades the last time these two teams played, giving up a corner you don't need to give up. As I said it before a couple weeks ago, this might be a throw. I'm not sure if that one actually went behind her.
Yeah, I think he did actually save the corner. It's going to be a throw in.
But still, you put yourself in a situation here, long throw, you have to defend. You didn't really need to be in this position.
That was really good hustle by Van Oekel. Could easily have been a corner, but he got across very quickly there. Watson heading that one away. Ledgerwood helping it along. Fordyce penalised there for the challenge on Roseboom and an early free kick for the Fury here. And it was from about this position where Timbo got on the end of Bailey's cross in the first half.
And Bailey's here taking it again. Don't think Timbo will find himself quite as free.
Scored that one in towards the near post, and Van Oekel gets down and makes the claim. Degrees, the weather conditions in Edmonton tonight. Nice, pleasant May evening. Mistake in defense there, though, and the Fury back on the attack with Johnny Steele. Great tackle by Diakite, though, to prevent that through ball going in. Another lapse of concentration, though, for the Eddies. Timbo takes that one nicely on the chest and drives it forward high into the Alberta night sky. Picked up by Obasi again this time. Ledgerwood trying to steal the ball away from him. It goes back to Timbo. Bolchin making a great break down the right-hand side here. Bolchin's done well. He's going all the way to the goal line and pulls back the cross, but maybe just ran it a couple of yards too far and concedes in the end the goal kick.
You know, Edmonton doesn't play too many midweek games anymore, but I remember the first couple of seasons we used to get tweets in the summertime and in springtime from fans in other parts of North America asking, like, it's the second half on a weeknight. Why is it still daylight out? Not understanding just how much more sunshine Edmonton gets because of our northern position in the spring and summer.
Yeah, the floodlights on here, but not really needed at this moment. Still very nice and bright, clear conditions in Edmonton. Diakite forward pass to Ledgerwood. Ledgerwood twisting and turning, looking to find Keegan. Keegan dispossessed by Timbo, and Bailey winning the ball back, but it's taken away from him by Ledgerwood again. Now Correa. He's got Keegan overlapping. He's tackled, and it will be a throw in. Correa's pulled a nice little trick there. Good pullback, whipped over the cross to the far post. Eckersley's got to chase on to keep that one in, and
he had both Eckersley and Niasse open. He ended up splitting them with that cross. Both of them on the far side were available to take that cross, but the ball just went right through them, through the gap.
Johnny Steele chasing forward. Diakite trying to win the ball back from him. Steele's done well there to hold that one up for his teammates, and Bailey spraying it wide to the left, and Paolo Jr. Bailey's pass has gone awry there, though, and it's straight to Niasse. That doesn't come to what he'd hoped for either, though, and DeBellis clearing his lines.
It looked like he was trying to find Keegan with a quick pass through. It didn't come off after the Bailey giveaway.
Colin Miller still, you can see gesturing with his arms, trying to get players to press forward. Edmonton winning the ball back down the right-hand side. Infield to Harworth, and he went for goal there, and a good stop by Matt Van Oekel down low to his right.
Excellent stop by Matt Van Oekel. A second road goal for Ottawa would have given Edmonton a massive mountain to climb. But the big keeper gets down, gets the hand down. Harworth is able to spin around and get a shot on goal, but Van Oekel reacts quickly, gets down to it. Excellent save.
Correa to the edge of the penalty area, trying to make room for his left foot. Finds Keegan. Keegan's first touch lets him down a bit, though, and in the end has to reach for it a bit more. Diakite trying to win it back. There's a potential counter on here for the Fury, but Paolo Jr. runs it into touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Diakite, who's got into a bit of an altercation with the Fury bench because he can't get the ball as quickly as he would have liked.
It's a little bit of a shoving match between him and Paolo Jr. Really wasn't much of anything. They're just got to be separated. Let someone else take the throw in. Both of them got a little shove in.
And here is a substitution for FC Edmonton. And that didn't take long. 7 minutes into the second half. Nyasi is coming off. And Tomi Amiobi is coming into the game.
Amiobi scored quite a few goals against Ottawa in the tie last year. So Amiobi getting back to health. Played a few minutes in Saturday's draw in Indy. And another player, Amiobi, with an excellent scoring record in the Amway Canadian Championship. He's got 4 career goals in this tournament.
Fordyce chipping a ball over the top. Watson reaching for that ball in defense. He's going to play it back to his goalkeeper. And now Diakite. Fordyce again.
But now we know Colin Miller's patience lasted exactly 5 minutes into the second half.
Did shake hands with Nyasi as he walked off the pitch, so he did acknowledge that, but very quick substitution. And Amiobi's had a couple of injury problems, so here's his chance to stake a claim for a place against the Cosmos.
Last chance there. I think Keegan got caught in 2 minds there. Wasn't sure if I think he started off in his mind that he's going to shoot, and then thought I might be able to thread a ball through here, and ended up doing neither. It looked like as he got to the top of the box, he was squaring up to put his left foot through the ball, and then saw some white shirts coming into the penalty area, and almost like he tried to check himself up, and ended just sort of putting something in between just wide. Well, not just wide.
Here is Amiobi on the left-hand side. Builds up the play nicely and pushes it back to Eckersley. 1-2 there, and Eckersley now putting the cross into the penalty area, and DeBellis makes the claim. He's been very commanding inside of his penalty area. And there you can see the sign in support of Fort McMurray. Stand united with Fort Mac. All of a sudden, Edmonton's population got quite a bit bigger. It's noticeable. There are people talking about 90,000 people that had to leave Fort McMurray, and just more people on the streets of Edmonton.
The neighbors took in a family.
Yeah, been happening a lot. Yeah, people opening their doors to people they don't know. People showing up at the airport, offering people free rides, housing. Been nice to see the response.
Yeah, as terrible as the tragedy has been, it's nice. It's one of those restore faith in humanity weeks.
Edmonton pressing here for a goal. Fordyce's ball into the box, headed away. Bailey just beats Shome to it, but Diakite winning it back over the top again. And that will run through for DeBellis. Still not sure when people can go back to Fort McMurray. It's could be as long as 2 weeks away. The fire not threatening the community anymore, but still burning. And all kinds of smoke up there. It's going to be a long rebuild.
I know you had the chance to see it firsthand. So.
Yeah, it was up in a small plane just over the top of it, and all you could see was smoke. It came as high as the clouds, so you really got to see the scale of it from up in the air. You occasionally smelled smoke, even down here in Edmonton, with the winds blowing. Career on the edge of the penalty area, tries to charge into the box, but that's well defended again by the Fury.
Of course, Edmonton played 2 games in Fort McMurray, including last year, including a game against Ottawa, with Alves scoring the winner late.
Yeah. And of course, that's where people initially were taken to safety, was to McDonald Island Park, and then it became clear that the entire city had to leave, and they had to get them out of there very quickly too. The ball towards Paolo Jr., who's inside the penalty area, dangerous position, tries to step inside, and again it's Diakite with a very good defensive clearance to save the day. Two there between Harworth and Obasi. Just kept that one on the line.
Ottawa enjoying a nice spell of possession right here. That's what Paul Dalglish wanted. So he didn't want them to give away the ball like they were the latter part of the first half.
Looks like he's about to make a substitution for the Fury, and also Colin Miller is as well.
It's an attacking substitution for Paul Dalglish. Forward coming on.
Ledgerwood's made a good break there and shifts play to the right-hand side, and Zebi, who's arriving. Zebi looking for support. It's with Fordyce. Crowd trying to lift the home team. Schoen looking to spread play out to the left wing. His pass didn't quite work out, but he wins the ball back and finds Eckersley. Eckersley's cross to the far post. Ledgerwood won't get that, and there'll be a possible chance for the substitutions here. Idan Vered is going to come on for Ottawa. Gustavo for FC Edmonton, and Shamit Schoen coming off a good performance by him. Probably came the closest to scoring for Edmonton.
Yeah, it has definitely had the best scoring chance for the home side. That header that DeBellis did so well to reach up and paw away from goal.
And Paolo Jr. coming off to be replaced by Idan Vered, who caught the eye in the last game here, especially the way he turned. And he's going to get on for the last half an hour for the Fury.
But I think it shows that the mentality of the Ottawa Fury, they're not happy to be at 1-0. They're bringing on, they're not going, we're taking off forward, putting on a holding midfielder, another defender in. We're going to put another forward in. It's a forward for forward swap, but it shows what the mentality is. They're not just happy to sit on a 1-0. Really, again, as I pointed out earlier, 1-1 or 1-0 doesn't. If you're the road team, that's not much of a difference. The other team still has to come to your stadium and score a goal. If it's 1-0 or 1-1, so why not at 1-0 go for 2-0? Why not open up and gamble?
That's what Paul Dalglish did say at halftime. He didn't want his team sitting back, and not at the moment. There's a chance here with the ball in from De Jong to the far post, and that's gone behind. It's going to be a goal kick for the Eddies, and there's referee just sorting out this injury here, and it looks like Ledgerwood has got in some trouble with a booking against Bolchin. He did allow the play to continue with an advantage, but still went back and gave Ledgerwood the yellow card.
That pass from De Jong, though, to the far post looked like a futsal play there with a whole bunch of players streaking for the far post. You see the The foul here by Ledgerwood. Yeah, he comes in late. Lets Balchin know he was there. Not too much you can argue with a yellow card there. But see, De Jong's trying to finesse that and try to get it to the far post. I think he's better off just having a shot from there. He scored on the weekend. Got to feel pretty good about it. Just have a go. You're in a good spot in the box. Put your foot through it. I think if he had that chance again, that would be going on goal.
Looked like he was shaping to hit it, but then just maybe got caught in 2 minds. Another big game coming up for the Eddies on Sunday. The New York Cosmos in town, 2 p.m. kickoff. The game live on City TV, and we'll be here with you for that one. And tickets at fcedmonton.com.
Balchin's not putting any weight in that ankle at all. He's in a lot of pain.
It's actually being carried off at this point. Paul Dalglish is already bringing on a substitution for the Fury. So Balchin hurt by that challenge from Ledgerwood, and going to be another change for Ottawa here. And Brian Oliveira coming on to replace him. Tackled by Zebi there. The ball in the middle of the park for Ledgerwood. Correa shifts the ball onto his left foot, playing it forward. Gustavo on the left-hand side, finding Correa again. Just maybe taking on one too many there.
There's so many red shirts.
There's Oliveira, and what's happened is De Jong has moved back into defense in that right back slot where Balchin was playing.
Substitution for Ottawa Fury FC substitution pour le Fury.
Oliveira was very close to finding Howard. That floated across, trying to get it in between 2 defenders.
Zebi. Chance for Gustavo here with a left-footed shot. Just bobbles all the way through the goalkeeper. Not really a big threat for DeBellis.
They didn't make solid contact there. Shuffling. Easy save for the keeper. I do think the Eddies are finding some luck when now they're trying to cut some runs across the top of the box rather than just automatically firing the cross in, and I think that's at least giving them some shooting angles and some lanes. You got to vary that up sometimes. The team always knows the cross is coming, then they can set up to defend the same kind of attack all the time.
Eckersley around the outside, left flank, just can't get to it. Another goal kick.
Big body of Alves, just can't get around that. The time takes the Eddies now 25 minutes to try to get this equalizer. Of course, the teams meet Ottawa next week. The Eddies already know that unless they can score 2 without conceding again, that they're going to have to score in Ottawa.
1-0 still the score to the Fury as Zebi wins a header, and here's Gustavo pushing it onto the right wing, and Keegan.
Gustavo's going to hear with the free kick. Again, you see all the big defenders coming up into the penalty area. Pretty crowded back there. Ottawa not really bringing anyone forward. They're all hands on deck.
Right-footed Gustavo, and gives the keeper a little bit to think about as it drifted towards goal. Did he touch it behind for a corner? The Eddie's players think so, but the linesman and the referee just give a goal kick.
Hard to tell there, but I don't know if the wind played with that a little bit, or it looked like it was going well over from off his foot, that it wasn't going to go anywhere close to the goal.
But did he touch the ball though? And if he did touch it, was it already out?
I think it would have been already out. It looked like he was reaching behind him. I mean, Diakite went to the official, but there wasn't, I would say, a vociferous amount of protest from the Eddies.
Still 1-0 to the Fury. FC Edmonton in search of an equaliser. Amway off and running on the right-hand side here. Well watched by Obasi. Very good defensive performance by the Fury so far. They've really kept the ball on the outside. Gustavo just losing his way on the edge of the penalty area.
It's communication breakdown between him and Amiobi. He expected Amiobi to stay there for a give and go. And Amiobi dashing to the penalty area looking for a through ball.
Watch him play that to Van Oekel, and they got themselves in all kinds of trouble here. FC Edmonton, and Haworth punishes them for it. That really was a debacle in defense for the Eddies, and they are 2-0 down. And Colin Miller will not like that one at all. A second away goal for
And I think you just saw Albert Watson laying there on the turf, and I think that expression says it all. Watson with the pass, but Van Oekel, he's got to do better there. He's got to be able to clear that ball. Get your foot through it. You're in trouble. Get it out of there. And instead, he plays it right up the middle, and it just serves on a platter. And there you see Roseboom leaves it for Haworth, and the Canadian sticks the ball in the back of the net. And you can't get an easier goal. But it wasn't a good pass from Watson back to Van Oekel. It caught him a bit wrong-footed, but it's the second touch from Van Oekel makes the problems all the much worse.
Yeah, they were really at 6s and 7s there. That was a comedy of errors, and well, what do you say about that?
And it's an absolute mountain that the Eddies have to climb now. And I think if Colin Miller at the half was angry, he'll be apoplectic when we talk to him after the game.
Well, he said, didn't he, at halftime that defensively his team were awful. Yeah, I don't know what else you could say about that one.
That's schoolboy errors.
Eckersley on the left-hand side as the Eddies try to get something moving here. Cross into the penalty area, easily controlled by Johnny Steele.
Well, I don't know if I've ever seen the Eddies gift wrap a goal like that.
Yeah, not like that.
you may as well put it in your own net. And Ottawa now have the massive advantage, and I think the people in Ottawa, the fans watching there in the nation's capital, have got to be feeling that there might be a trip to Vancouver in the offing. I know there's still 2 halves to play in Ottawa, 20 minutes left here, but certainly those hopes now are much higher than they were 71 minutes ago.
And the atmosphere is just falling a little bit flat in the stadium here. That little bit of a soul-crushing goal for the fans to take. That really was a gift. And
yeah, it's not just they score a second goal, it's the way you give it up. It's not as if you're beaten with a wonder strike or a wonderful passing play or even a penalty. You basically, for all intents and purposes, just roll the ball on a platter for the opposing team to stick into the goal. And that's just a lesson. If you're put in trouble on the defensive side of the ball, don't try to be a hero. Sometimes just throwing it out to the sidelines in a touch is not the worst thing to do.
Korea making a good break to the penalty area and driving a shot. And it was close, but just wide of the post. But haven't been too many opportunities like that, so good to see him at least running at the defense.
Yeah, and again, the Eddies seem to have success when they cut across the top of the box and try to shift sideways. That seems to be the one area where they have some luck and create some problems for Ottawa, coming in off the wings, and instead of crossing the ball, carrying the ball and trying to cut across the top of the penalty area. There seems to be some room there, a gap between the back 4 and the holding midfielder in Ottawa's setup, that there's some room to cut in. You can get that shot off. That's where I think the chance can come for FC Edmonton, in that gap.
2-0 they trail Ottawa in the Canadian Championship at Clarke Stadium. Not one of the better performances at home for FC Edmonton. They've got a history of being such a strong team at Clarke Stadium, but today things just have not clicked. Fury making another break here, and there's all kinds of space on the left wing for De Jong. Cross goes to the far post, and that is number 3. And this is looking all a little bit too easy here. It's the Fury with a 3rd goal. And FC Edmonton just in all kinds of trouble.
I think De Jong here with a nice ball across the box, and Eckersley just loses the foot race.
Edouard Vered just sneaking in there at the far post, getting his head to it. And the atmosphere in here, it's like you could almost hear a pin drop.
It's a great ball by Marcel De Jong, the national teamer. But it's one the Eddies have to deal with. Gets the back post. But Edouard Vered gets goal side of Adam Eckersley, and it's 3-0. And that looks like a frustration challenge from Daryl Fordyce on Obasi.
Yellow card for Daryl Fordyce, joining Ledgerwood in the referee's notebook. Not too much doubt about that.
I have to say, that's borderline yellow. And I'm not talking borderline yellow as in not a card. I'm talking that is some officials definitely would not have shown that color card.
Yeah, he could have gone for that. No doubt about it.
It's definitely, you're frustrated. You've given up. You're now 3-0 down. Now he goes to apologize to Obasi. But there wasn't an attempt to play the ball there. And players are talking to each other, and clearly frustration's going on.
Yeah, that was a dreadful challenge. Well, the game's coming thick and fast for FC Edmonton, and they, in truth, will be glad to see the back of this one. Still 15 minutes left, and already on the wrong end of a 3-0 scoreline to the Fury.
And right now, the Fury, obviously, the last couple of seasons, losing to FC Edmonton in this round, this has got to feel very, very good.
And that's what we got coming up. We've been talking about the New York game. They'll have to play much better on Sunday against the Cosmos. 2 p.m. kickoff, City TV, tickets, fcedmonton.com. The week after, the Sunday after that, Carolina in town. They've been playing really well. And then June 12th, the Fort Lauderdale Strikers here in Edmonton. Free kick driven towards the near post and headed away by Keegan.
But you look at FC Edmonton's defensive record in the league, where they have so many clean sheets. And so we talk about their defensive stinginess, and you wouldn't see any trace of it today. Just been...
Yeah, only conceded four goals in the previous games up until now, and then 3 more tonight.
Clean sheets in half their games.
Colin Miller talking about how that had really been the foundation for the recent resurgence in form. And that's been obliterated tonight by the Fury.
So Mazzy Diorio is getting ready to come in for Ottawa. Bring a little Prince Edward Island content to this this tournament. Great to see Prince Edward Island represented in this tournament. I don't think that's the first time Paul Craig would have played for FC Edmonton in the earlier years.
Yeah, Paul got a couple of good goals in his time for the Eddies.
And of course, Paul Craig, really good friends with Mazzy Diorio.
Tackled by Watson coming across to make the challenge. Well, in fact, free kick looks like it's not been awarded against them, or are we looking at a throw-in? The referee just not letting the throw take place until we see the substitution for the Fury here. And there we go, the goal scorer, Howarth, one of the 3 goal scorers. His night's done. Good run out for him. Got a goal. Probably one of the easiest ones he'll score.
Still feels good.
Now Vered, who's already scored once, breaking in from the left-hand side, putting in the cross to the near post, and that could easily have been number 4.
They're at 6s and 7s right now, the Eddies defensively. It's just too easy for Ottawa right now. They're going through, and you can see there's Zebby there, not sure whether that's covering there. Eckersley's all the way over to block the ball. A lot of players, I gotta say, the ball watching.
3-0, the Eddies trailing.
This is going to be one painful video session for the Eddies.
Oliveira with the corner from the left wing. And Ledgerwood gets ahead on that. Watson helps it clear.
But the Eddies have to pick themselves up. They still have to go to Ottawa, put on a show. 10 minutes here to at least try to get some kind of consolation, to try to at least close the gap a little bit. These guys have got to think about the front of the jersey, some pride here, get themselves put back together.
Gustavo on the right wing. Gustavo still going, threads it through. Keegan's there, great save by the keeper. The rebound goes in, but the flag had already gone up. And that's offside against FC Edmonton. Glimmer of hope there for the crowd, but quickly killed.
And the flag was up. The whistle went well before the ball was put in the goal. Diorio and Watson there, I think, clash.
The Fury bench feeling like Watson's foot was high with that tackle. He's also gone down injured, though. Let's take a look at it there. I think he got his foot out of the way.
Most of the players got caught. Really, it's an unfortunate collision, but I don't think much can be done for either player to get out of the way there. It's an awkward ball. It's unfortunate one of those things that happens. I don't think there's anything dirty there or anything malicious on either player's part. Two players have got to play the ball, and it's that awkward bounce. As you noted, Watson did pull his leg down, trying to get out of the way, not leave that thing hanging up. And in fact, by doing that, left himself more exposed.
You can catch the second leg of the Amway Canadian Championship, this preliminary round, May 18th, and that's streamed live at canadasoccer.com/championship. canadasoccer.com/championship. And it's a real mountain to climb at this point for Edmonton.
Mountain might be an understatement. This is, it would be a comeback. If they were able to pull this off, it would be a comeback that I think would be in the tournament record book. You see Watson there. It looks like his eye. Looks like in the impact. Yeah, you can see there some blood around his eye. Wow. There you go.
And around the right side of his face, difficult to see what happened from that replay, but obviously a clash.
And of course, Albert Watson being Albert Watson, he wants to go back in the game. And he does. As much as I love Albert Watson's competitive nature, I think when you have an injury to your head or there's blood like that in the game where it is right now, maybe the best move is to come out. I know Albert would really disagree with me on that one because he's such a competitor.
Into the last 7 minutes here.
And I don't see like the Eddies making any moves. Can they?
Thrown by Diakite, finds Gustavo, still trying to keep going there, wins a free kick for the Eddies. Everybody forward for this now. Ledgerwood trying to take it. The referee just breaking up an issue there between Diakite and the Fury's wall. Ledgerwood playing it up to the far post, and goalkeeper came out for it, missed it, but it had gone wide anyway. Nobody could get the touch. It'll be a goal kick.
See Ledgerwood drifting that ball in. Effort by Fordyce, but you're never going to be able to corral that, get that back towards goal. Really the story of Edmonton's day, just nothing coming off for the Eddies.
The yellow card, the referee's going to have some paperwork to do at the end of this match. This one is for Oliveira. And hasn't really been a dirty game. There's just been a couple of bad challenges that have escalated things in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, you have a frustrated team playing against a team that obviously now is very happy where they are. And you don't want the yellow cards to pile up, though, because this affects you later in the tournament. So you need to be careful about these things.
Ledgerwood strikes one to the edge of the penalty area. A quick break by the Fury, and Vered placing a through ball into the path of Oliveira, and good tracking back by Ledgerwood just to get a touch on that to his goalkeeper.
So Ledgerwood tracking back there from all the way, cover up for the center backs there. Good tracking back by the Canadian international. But going back to Albert Watson, we saw how he's hurt, he's playing, but this player I know is tough as nails. I remember a couple of years ago in Atlanta, picked a couple of teeth he'd lost off the turf and kept playing. So it's just the kind of player he is. It's definitely a throwback to another time.
Yeah, leads by example for the Eddies. The skipper puts his head where a lot of players wouldn't put their feet, and that's basically what just happened. And on the left-hand side, Eckersley with a chance to put the cross in, but nothing's really happened for any of the Eddies players tonight. Last 3 minutes, it's pretty painful this for the home crowd.
No, Ottawa is deservedly where they are. Right from the start of the game, I talked about how they were pressing and being very positive. They didn't come in here looking to scrape out a 0-0, not at all. Came in with a very positive attitude. They came with an attacking attitude, and they've reaped the rewards for their attitude in this game. They've taken advantage, definitely, of some dreadful Edmonton errors. But they also deserve that luck as well.
Out goes outside of his penalty area and has just blasted that ball forward. That's going to go into touch.
And Watson is he's down again, sitting down, and again
Yeah, I think he might have to, for the last minute and a half, come off. It's clearly an eye or head injury.
And we can see, I mean, again, he's playing hurt. And we saw Ledgerwood come in on that last Ottawa attack and take his place, in the center back's place. And he's clearly having struggles since that injury. And now I think the wisdom's coming in that to take him out. There's no doubting Albert Watson's grit. There's no doubting his commitment, his toughness. But they have to think about Albert Watson for the season and not Albert Watson for this game.
Edmonton losing. Gonna have 5 minutes of injury time after this last 20 seconds of normal time.
I think the Eddies playing with 10 men right now. Yeah, they used all the subs. Yeah, they're playing with 10 men.
Korea on the right-hand side, in comes the cross outside of the boot, might run all the way through to Eckersley.
There is a player getting ready for the Eddies, so
yeah, they do have one more sub. Because Gustavo and Amiobi are the two that have been introduced.
Just wasn't ready when Watson was coming off. It looks like Johan Smith is coming on. And I was pretty sure they had the one more. That's why I was wondering earlier if Watson should have come off or not. But now they'll be back. And now the sub is official that Johan Smith comes in for Albert Watson.
Substitution for FC Edmonton, number 24,
And it looks as though Ledgerwood has dropped back into defense. And Zebi's moved across, and they've basically put Zebi into the middle there. Ledgerwood moving to right back. Smith's playing up on the left wing. Greer tries another long-range shot. That's wide. We're into stoppage time now.
I tell you, that's going to be interesting. And Eddie's, I talked about coming into this game, got 7 out of the possible 9 points in the last 3 games. But it's very much what have you done for me lately? And after this performance in a cup game, that means so much to the Eddies. Getting a chance to play Vancouver again would be big for them. It's not a long trip at all. It's definitely closer than any NASL trip they have to make.
There could be more danger here. The offside flag's up. And that won't count.
And look there, Oliveira tucked the ball in. The Eddies with a quick restart. The flag was up. Now both teams have had the ball in the back of the net, and the offside flag's been up.
The Amway Canadian Championship on CanadaSoccer.com is presented by Amway Canada, proud sponsor of Canada Soccer since 2008, by Allstate, by Bell, by Ombrell, the Amway Canadian Championship.
Getting ahead of myself, I'm sure there's a few people in Ottawa right now that are checking travel websites for flights to Vancouver. Working out some vacation time.
Yeah, never a bad place to be.
No, I've been there for the Canadian national team games, the last 2 in BC Place. It's been fantastic. The atmosphere has been fantastic. The city's been wonderful and welcoming, and just a wonderful host for the national program. Can only say good things about the last 2 games at BC Place, even if one of the results didn't turn out so well. But the response from the community in that part of British Columbia has been outstanding. That, of course, is the prize that these teams play for, that chance to play the Whitecaps, chance to test yourself against MLS opposition. There have been some really great games in the past between FC Edmonton and some of the MLS sides, Montreal a couple of years ago and Vancouver last year. And unless the Eddies can really climb that mountain, as you put it, it will be Ottawa this year that will get a chance to test their mettle against the Whitecaps.
Eckersley firing one up to Amiobi, cushions down the header, looking for Daryl Fordyce. Smith's cross from the left-hand side, good drop for Korea. And again, Fury just standing strong, and that's it. It is a victory for the Ottawa Fury and a dismal home defeat for FC Edmonton. A 3-0 defeat today, and not the kind of home performance that Colin Miller is used to seeing from his team. Goals from Timbo, from Haworth and Vered have carried the Fury to a 3-0 win here. We'll be hearing from both coaches after the break. Stay with us for the post-game show. 3-0 for Ottawa over Edmonton. Clarke Stadium looking nice on this perfect Alberta evening. A perfect one for the Ottawa Fury, that is. A 3-0 win over FC Edmonton here tonight. Let's speak to the Fury coach, Steve.
Paul, I know this is your first year coaching the Ottawa Fury, but this is a club that's had its frustrations against FC Edmonton in this tournament. Do you feel you exercised a few demons tonight?
Not for me, because I've not got any demons to exercise. But listen, it's a cup competition. We want to, you know, we were very determined to play well tonight and bring, you know, the prize at the end of it is to have an MLS team visit TD Place, and there's no MLS team ever played at TD Place, so we want to make that happen, and I think you saw that from the effort the guys put in tonight.
You know, a lot of times you see these two-legged competitions and the road team plays cautiously, and you didn't do that tonight. You pressed very high, very early in this game, and you were very positive. Was that the mentality right from the start, is take the game to Edmonton?
Listen, I don't believe in defensive football. I believe in offensive football, home and away, in every game that we play. I think you've got to, you know, when there's a chance to win a game, you've got to be aggressive and you've got to try and win it. I don't, you know, successful people don't wait for things to happen to them. They go and happen to things, and that's the mentality we want to have here. We want to change the mentality throughout the organisation. And I was a little bit disappointed at half-time that we sat back and protected a one-goal lead, and you know, we made some offensive changes at half-time to try and be a little bit more offensive, and it paid off.
All right, congratulations, coach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Paul Dalglish joining us on the pitch after his team got a 3-0 win here at FC Edmonton. It was a lot different a couple of weeks ago when the Eddies got a 2-0 victory here against the Fury, but things changed a lot tonight. Let's talk to Eddie's coach, Colin Miller. Colin, thanks for joining us. You were upset at halftime with the performance of your team. Just give us your reaction at full time and what you'll be saying to the players.
Well, I won't say anything tonight, Gareth, because I said a lot at half-time, but I thought we started the second half well, and I thought we looked the more dangerous team at that stage, but the second goal rips the heart out of the team. It's just, you wouldn't do that at U6, U7 level, never mind at the professional level. And what chance do you have if that's the type of goal that you're giving away? And I thought Ottawa took their chances tonight. They were dangerous on the counter-attack. They sat in and defended well. So they deserve the tie at this moment in time. But we've got to regroup. We've got a huge game on Sunday against the best team in the league. And, you know, we can't defend like that here tonight. That was bad news bears stuff at times. Created one or two chances, which was positive, but a very poor performance by our standards. I think that's one of the heaviest defeats I've had in 4 seasons here. So we'll have to regroup, see who's fit, who's available for Sunday. And fingers crossed we can get a good result against the New York Cosmos. There'll be a good crowd here. We let our fans down here and that turned up tonight, and I'm disappointed.
Yeah, and you mentioned not saying anything tonight. What will your strategy be moving forward to Sunday now, Colin?
Yeah, see who's fit and healthy. We took 1 or 2 knocks there tonight. Hopefully Albert Watson's okay. He's bleeding in the eye at the moment, so that'll be a big loss if he's not available to us on Sunday. So we'll see who's fit and available. Hopefully Eddie Edward is fine for Sunday, and you know, we'll compete again. It's very, very disappointed, but we get another crack at Ottawa. They're not the finished article by any means, but we have to be far better tonight defensively, and we'll still create problems in Ottawa. It just needs one to get us back into the tie, but we'll have to be far, far better than we were tonight.
Okay, thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
Colin Miller will be discussing this with his players in the coming days, saying he's choosing not to talk about it tonight, having already talked a lot at half-time to his players during the interval there when he was very upset with that performance. Now let's talk to the man of the match tonight from the Ottawa Fury, Carl Haworth, joining us. Congratulations, Carl. Just a couple of weeks ago, obviously, you played Edmonton and lost 2-0. Tell us what made the difference tonight.
Yeah, we just we didn't start too well in the season. You know, 4 away games, and that game here a couple weeks ago was sort of the turning point. You know, we got back home, a couple of home games, and just reorganized, changed our tactics a little bit, and it's been paying off as late.
You guys pushed right from the start. You didn't sit back. You didn't do the classic, we're the road team, we're gonna try to soak up pressure. You know, how confident did you feel that you were going to create turnovers and create the chances that you did?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. We just we came in with a game plan. You know, let's get after them early. Let's see if we can create a couple chances off of some turnovers, and it just worked out well for us.
Let's see if we can show you your goal, Carl, and talk us through what happened there.
All right. Well, we just I think they played the ball back, and we got some pressure on the ball early. Waddy got under a bit of pressure. Lance stepped in there nice, and I just got in a good situation there and just played it into the open goal. So just great work by the whole team to get some pressure on the defenders there.
And just tell us what you're thinking about in the finish there. I mean, you've scored more difficult ones, but you've still got a couple of defenders flying at you there.
Yeah, those ones are sort of the hardest sometimes, you know, where you've got some time in the box. But I saw Albert coming out. I knew he was going to slide, so I thought I could just play it through his legs and underneath him.
Well played tonight, Carl.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Well, there you go. Seeing that again was quite painful.
Well, not for the Ottawa Fury fans watching. That's not painful at all. But for the FC Edmonton supporters, it's definitely a game that they're gonna want to put in the back of their minds as quickly as they can. And you know, as we talk about games in this team's history, Colin just talked about one of the heaviest defeats that he suffered, and I think they're going to look at the quality of the mistakes that they made today.
There is the FC Edmonton owner, Tom Fath, and he's discussing that with some fans who are a little animated there, and I'm sure he's as gutted as anyone else with that performance this evening as he discusses it with the Eddies faithful. Let's look back on the match tonight, some of the highlights from the game.
Here we see Timbo opening the scoring early. Bailey, free kick. We're going to look. The Eddies play this back, and it's just a simple pass back to the keeper. That's left short, but then Matt Van Oekel exacerbates the problem with a poor ball up the middle. And Haworth says that's, you know, a lot harder than it looks, but it doesn't look very hard.
Yeah, he made it look pretty easy, but yeah, 6s and 7s, and even Colin Miller there called it, said that you don't do that in U6 soccer, didn't he?
It tears the heart of the team. It did. You can feel the whole stadium deflate. And then here, this is a simple situation. Dan Verrett outruns Adam Eckersley to the back post and wins the ball. It's a great cross by Marcel de Jong, but again, the situation where an attacker gets goal side of a defender, and good things are going to happen for the attacker if he gets goal side.
Verrett putting the icing on the cake for the Ottawa Fury. You talk about away goals. Well, they got 3 of them and didn't concede. They're definitely in the driver's seat, and that's an understatement in the Canadian Championship with the 3-0 win tonight.
Yeah, it would take let's say a massive sort of choke by the Ottawa Fury to throw this away next week. And again, I would say I don't think it's presumptuous for Ottawa fans to be looking on the travel websites tonight and booking hotels or flights to Vancouver.
Next up for FC Edmonton, though, is the New York Cosmos, and they know they have to improve a lot, as Colin Miller just said, against the league leaders to try and get things back on track. Of course, this game, a Canadian Championship game, no points lost, and they'll hope that their good league form can continue on Sunday. Hope you can join us for that match. Thanks for joining us tonight. Good night.